Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Uninhibited, uncensored. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Uninhibited, uncensored. Come on, y'all. Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Uninhibited, uncensored. Let's talk about it. 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 Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Bougie Babe podcast. Tea with the Bougie Babe. Today's tea is Adios, motherfucker. And the ingredients for that is vodka, rum, tequila, some gin, blue curacao, sweet and sour mix, and you can use Sprite or 7-Up to top it off. And today's topic is going to be reciprocity in whatever relationship you have. And today, the guests are Jay from Hoes to Husband podcast. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Nick, welcome.
Hi.
And then we have here on the end, CoJo.
All right.
Welcome.
Right. How's everybody?
We good?
So let's start with my question is, what does reciprocity mean in the context of a healthy relationship? Who wants to answer first?
You know what? I'll take this question first. This might be a new concept for those here, and shout out my man Mr. Jason Black who introduced this concept. It's called paying tribute. And what is paying tribute? That is for every dollar a man spends, that's 25 cents she spends on him. At the end of the day, listen, a woman will spend money on someone which she values. If she ain't spending money on you, she don't like you, she don't fool with you for real. I'll digress.
Money though, is it always money?
Not necessarily, but I would say if a guy is breaking bread, she should as well.
I just want to start off by saying I am single, and this might be the reason I am single.
What are your thoughts here?
Because it doesn't have to be money. If you spent $25, I'm a different chick. So first of all, you're not gonna be spending money on me without a good reason. Because I can't do that. But I feel like if you took me out to play pool last night, I cooked for you tonight. That's the same. $25.
Right.
Okay.
I would agree on that there. Here's the thing. If, let's just say, he takes you to a nicer, let's just say, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, right? What would be reciprocal of that? So maybe somewhere like Cheesecake Factory, I would say that's 25 cents to the dollar. I would say that's fair there. Agreed?
So you equate reciprocity like basically dollar for dollar almost?
It's not to say dollar for dollar, but I would say that could be the starting point there. Like what she said, that was a great point. Hey, took you out for a nice night of pool. She cooks when we get home. I think that would probably equal out, in my opinion, there.
Right. What about you, CoJo? You kind of quiet.
I mean, reciprocity is simple. I think it's very simple. It takes you back to your childhood and just being raised, how you was raised. Your parents always told you, treat people how you want to be treated.
I agree.
So to me, reciprocity is as simple as that. However you want to be treated, that's how you treat people.
So that's what you equated to in a healthy relationship for you. That just translates to treating your person how you would want to be treated.
Well, I mean, that's the start of it. But at the end of the day, it's, relationships take on all different faces, all different, behavior. They look all different styles. So in that particular relationship that you're speaking of, if it's a healthy relationship, for the most part, I feel like whoever's doing whatever, they want it reciprocated. They want to be thought about in the
or
same
just
manner.
appreciated.
Mhm.
I don't think I need reciprocity. I think I need to be appreciated.
Well,
And-
reciprocity is the action
Yeah.
to being appreciated.
Nick, what would you consider being appreciated?
appreciated would be if you know I've worked all week and I work 2 jobs a day, 9 hours a day, then yes, you have dinner waiting for me when I come home. You not wait until I get home and be like, oh, what we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? What we gonna?
Well, that's
that
more-
could go
that-
on for like
that's-
2 or 3 hours. But you know, I worked a 9-hour day. Have dinner ready sometimes. Sometimes.
Well, that's more.
Gotcha.
That's more consideration than reciprocity. You know, because reciprocity is more. If I'm correct, to Bougie Babe is talking about is you know, if acts
buy you this,
if
I'll buy
acts
you that.
no, it's not so much monetary. It's not about money. It's about acts. You know what I'm saying? If acts is being done, they want it reciprocated.
If I give you
On the other
head, you
end.
give me head.
That well,
that can be
yeah,
considered
yeah.
reciprocity
Well, hell yeah.
I would
Let's
say that.
jump into it. 'Cause
Well, hell yeah.
Go ahead.
yes, okay, yes. I don't know though.
I mean, say, hey, let's jump.
I
in.
mean,
Go
well,
ahead.
hell yeah.
Again, from the single 40+ woman, I don't want to give head no more.
Well, that's why you're single.
Not-
Well, that's why you're single. Now you know why
Hold
you're
on.
single.
Wait a second. So
Not
it's
that I
happening.
don't want
Okay.
to no more, but not.
Don't change it
every
now. The
single
viewers already heard.
But
You
you're
ain't
not,
giving
you're not
head.
opposed to doing
No,
that.
I will do it.
Okay.
I will do it, but
Nah, they don't want it done with
like
resistance.
back in my 20s, it might have been 5 days a week. Now we can go take 2 days a week.
Oh, she only giving head on birthdays.
What about 3? Come on, every other day.
3 days a week. Why
Come on.
can't we play Scrabble or something?
Scrabble? I mean, I think 3 days a week is fair. I mean, hey, 7
but-
days out the week. I think 3 days is fair. That's less than half there.
So if she's giving you head 3 days a week, you doing the same for her? 3 days,
Absolutely.
and then we rest on Sunday. Is that how it go?
Hey, if that's what works for you, why not? Have at it. That's what I say.
Okay.
Listen,
listen.
I say whatever you
Go ahead.
do, you gotta love it.
True.
If you love it, it ain't work. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. If you love
I
it,
agree.
it's
If
not
you
work.
love it, it ain't work.
So, Nick, you're saying like when you say you don't want to do it anymore, you don't want to give.
Well,
like, with
okay,
the-
let's go back to I am single. I'm not in a relationship.
Okay.
So if I was in a relationship, I think I might feel different. But just, casual,
Oh, so you're speaking from. So you're saying as a single woman
Yeah.
that's just dating,
Hold on.
Yeah.
you don't want
I-
to just arbitrarily just be out here giving
Gotcha.
head.
So
Yeah.
I got a question here. So when you're doing it, let's just say a guy that you have good sexual chemistry with, right? Now you're saying you're doing it as a chore. You're just doing it to please him, or are you
No,
doing it because you really like to do it?
I do like to do it,
Okay.
and I would like to do it, yes.
Okay.
But I'm not exclusive with somebody, and I don't know what that person is doing when they leave me.
You don't
because
wanna
we
do
are
it
not in an exclusive relationship or whatever.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
chore,
I think
that chore head
if I
ain't
was
good.
in a relationship, my answers might be different.
Gotcha. So you're saying if you were exclusive with somebody, you would put more into doing it, and you would enjoy it a lot more if you were
I would
exclusive with
enjoy-
somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're speaking ahead, how the two men here,
Good segue.
the two men, how would y'all feel being in a relationship, or not just necessarily a relationship, but a situationship, a fucksationship, whatever it is, and that female is not into giving head, and so you're not getting it from her? How do you
Gotcha.
feel?
Well, let's just say this is a situationship, or just somebody I'm just casually having sex with. If she ain't gonna do it, I'll find somebody who does. Now, if I'm
Well,
in
if
a
you like her company.
okay,
still have a
I
company.
can like a company to the cows come home here. I'm going to find somebody that wants to do it and enjoys doing it. Now, for me, I'm not going to get exclusive with somebody that says she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't give head.
You're not going to be exclusive with her?
Deal breaker.
No, absolutely
It's a
not.
deal
He
breaker?
said deal breaker. That sounds like
for,
what he
for,
said to
for
me.
who? For what?
Deal breaker.
You know what I'm
Is
saying?
that a deal breaker for you?
No head.
No, we didn't say no head.
But my question
you
just
said,
now
right? No
was
head?
No head
if the
at
men are in a relationship or whatever their situationship is, and they're with the female that's Because there are some females. Because by the way,
I'm not
I
gonna
just want to give a
say-
shout out, y'all, to Juicy from Mind Triggers. She's not a head honcho.
I'm
But-
not gonna say no head is a deal breaker, but I mean she gonna have to make up on the back end somewhere. She better be doing something phenomenal.
I would agree with that. I would say, listen, if she don't give head, fine. I'm not against smash. We can have sex. We can find other ways. But at the same time, I'm not going to be exclusive. If I know I like Katie, I like getting sloppy toppy. Why am I going to be exclusive to somebody that does not like doing that? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
True.
I mean, well, some in situations where if you're in a relationship, it's a little bit of compromise. So that could just be the compromise.
I would say, I guess so.
There's a flip
but
side to that also.
Go ahead, Nick.
The flip side, okay. Oh God, we on camera and everything.
Go ahead.
What if?
Too late now.
What
got
if
it.
the male has ED problems and only gives head? So I should go find somebody that can give me wood, because that person can't give me wood. They can only give me head, and
All right,
that's
well-
frustrating as hell.
Well, see,
That sounds like you
well,
told
see that goes. Listen, that all goes
Listen.
into choosing your job.
No offense to anyone who out
But
there who might
love,
have suffered from
when you
ED.
love somebody,
We're not
you know,
discriminating.
hey.
So let me ask you. You say love. If you can love somebody without even having sex with them. So that's possible. Now,
A relationship? In a relationship?
yeah, love comes in all different forms.
It does.
So you don't have to have sex with somebody to fall in love with them, but if you love them, then the ED problem shouldn't
Right.
be a problem.
That's what I'm just saying. It's
Shouldn't
not
be
a
a problem.
problem, but should
But
I?
you want that penetration.
But see,
Sometimes.
Well, then y'all gotta work that out.
right. But here's the thing. For a woman, y'all got all kinds of sex stories. Y'all got the damn rose and
Tell
all
'em
that
about
good
it.
stuff.
Talk about
to
it.
supplement for that. Come on.
But
Talk
the men
about it.
have stuff too, so it's
Nah,
not just
nah,
our
women like
women.
women, so-
Yeah,
But I-
yeah,
but here's the thing.
Y'all
Listen,
just
only
don't
thing
know.
we got costs like 10,000, and ain't
10,000?
nobody that committed.
What do you
No,
mean?
they
What
have
what is
things.
that?
What we
They
got,
have a
the-
lot of things.
that life size, fuck me dog.
3,000 or whatever that is.
I ain't about to pay 10,000 to see what it's about.
Me
They
neither.
have things. They have other things.
They have other things. Y'all
What?
just don't know about them. We'll make that
Clearly
another.
don't.
We'll
Yeah,
make
you
that
right.
another episode.
Another
they do have
conversation.
things.
That'll
for
be
another day.
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
for
another
the freaks.
that'll be another conversation.
No doubt.
Because there are some people that are skilled in extra things.
Oh, okay.
You mean like
Yeah,
in-
I don't
in
know
these-
nothing about that.
Yes, and these
I don't know
bobs,
nothing
these
about that.
battery operated.
Okay, all right.
So, do you think that there are any cultural or gender related factors that influence how people perceive and practice reciprocity in a relationship?
Absolutely.
That's no doubt. I would say yes. I would say, I think especially in Western culture, today's day and age with social media and things of that sort, I would say, yeah, it's definitely changed how we viewed reciprocity and just viewed dating in general here. That's my take on that one.
I mean, I think cultural wise is definitely a part of it because, like I said in the beginning when I was saying is kind of how you raised. In the different cultures, I know, let's say, Latino culture.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My son is half Puerto Rican. I've dated a few Latino women in my time. And
okay, you in the United Nations.
Did
okay.
you
Yeah,
feel?
yeah, you
now my
know,
question. Here's my question.
equal opportunity.
Did you feel it was a different experience from as opposed to dating a black woman on how
it's
they
definitely a
rose?
different experience. Or
They cater to you.
it's definitely a different experience.
Okay.
But the Latino culture, their women are raised to take care of their men.
Gotcha.
Like
So let me just expound upon that. And my thought process to that is this, and I can be wrong. It's just my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. We all have
Everyone
one,
got
right?
one.
So when it comes to the black culture, I feel like a lot of our, let's just say maybe hang-ups, goes back to the 400 years. And so it was by design to divide
I
the black families.
I agree.
And it goes back to that is plantation behavior
no doubt.
that has been ingrained in our community. And because we as women as a whole, women by nature and by design are nurturers. And in order to get the black men and the women to do what the slave masters wanted us to do was to create that division within our culture. And it's something that is here, it is long standing. And how we resolve it, I don't have the answer to that. But it's something that's very deep. And as we see, we're all different complexions here. And the slave master's mentality was basically you had to be lighter than a paper bag. It was the paper bag test. And if you were lighter than the paper bag, you got treated better. So, it then segued into the women's plight. And what they did was try to factor that into the same thing with black women. Oh, it's the women. That was never our fight.
Yeah.
We were taking care of our men. We did. It's there. We have the capabilities, but they just incorporated other things to keep that division going on.
I think
Gotcha.
society. I don't think society did that. I think individuals did that because I come from a 2-parent home. They're still married 50 years. I come from 4 grandparents that were married over 50 years before they passed, and the grandmothers never worked, and the grandfathers did, and the grandmothers kept them houses and kept them 5 kids on one side and 10 kids on the other side. And they just did.
But culturally, for the black race, that percentage is low.
Yeah.
Latinos didn't have the same sufferance that we did as
She's right.
on plantations. It was us. I don't call myself an African American because
What do you call
the
yourself?
majority of
I
my
don't call
family
myself
don't even come
African
from
American either.
Africa.
I'm a black
I-
American.
Okay,
I agree.
so I call myself a black American because that's what I am. And if we dug even deeper, I mean, we have other cultures that will say I'm
I'm an
5%
American.
this, 20%
No.
that.
No,
I don't even
I
know
agree.
So I'm
There's
a
a lot-
black American.
Yeah, man, y'all said a lot. There's a lot to unpack there, especially what you said over there. I mean, that was deep. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the term foundational Black American. That is the indigenous black people that already here in America before they started the African slave trade. And now, and that can be proven here from back from 1400s here, or even lower than that. But something I want to touch, I want to piggyback something off you said. Pitting us against each other since the days of slavery. Now, if you go back 100 years ago, there were more black people married actually.
Exactly.
Now
Up
we
until
talk about
the 70s.
yes, late 60s, early 70s. A couple of things happened. The Civil Rights Act of 1968. Integration. Also, a lot of people don't notice there was actually a deal for black women. Hey,
I
we're-
believe that.
we're going to give you here, we're going to give you Section 8 housing. That was basically white people's hand-me-downs. We're going to give you this Section 8 housing.
We're gonna give
Well,
you government money. We're
government
gonna
money.
give you government food.
But the man
stamps.
couldn't.
Don't have no
The
in
man
my
couldn't be
government.
in the home though.
That was the
So
catch-22.
that
Women
was the
individually
start of
started
it.
buying into that. Why would women individually start buying into that? Why would you
Your mic.
take this government money and government food over your man? I never understood that. I still don't understand that to this day.
Yep. But unfortunately, a lot of those women took that deal, and that was the catch-22 there is what, well, hey, you can have everything you want except for a man in that house. And if you have a man in the house, well, guess what? You got to move out because, we can buy, let's just say he's making 50,000, you're making 40,000, you're making too much. Now you got to move out.
But that was,
the catch-22
that was
there.
the start of the division. When
Yes,
I say
absolutely.
It goes back to a cultural issue here.
No
when
question.
it comes to how black women respond and treat their man. I mean,
Absolutely.
I
I agree.
understand what Nick is saying. My family in and of itself, several of my family members, husband and wives, are still together. That's how we were raised. My grandmother raised me to be a caregiver, a home giver, to take care of my person, period. And that's just there. But
And unfortunately, I don't think we have enough of that where we're teaching our women to be caregivers. Unfortunately, we're teaching ours. A lot of families teach and it's going to be controversial. A lot of single mother households teach them to be independent women. You don't need a man for nothing. You know, hell, I mean, the media's pushed that. Think about the music. Think about Destiny Child, independent women, and songs like that. Lil Boozy, independent, and they pushed this for almost 40 years now, and you know, it's having effect to this day. It can be scientifically proven that the music that you listen to takes over your subconscious mind.
Absolutely, those subliminal messages.
Yes.
So again, I think we can go on and on about
Absolutely.
that topic there.
I mean, it was just deep and a lot to unpack.
So let's just bring it back. What are some common signs of imbalance or lack of reciprocity in a relationship, and how can individuals address them?
Well, I think if the woman is doing, you know, all of the nurturing, you know, the caregiving for the man, making sure he's okay, cooking and stuff like that, and he only thinks he has to bring in the bacon, to bring in the money, that's a imbalance for me, because I just want to be loved. I just want to be nurtured. I want you to cook. I want you to just hold my hand, you know, some days.
You keep mentioning cook.
She hungry.
She probably like sound like you a hell of a cook.
She wants somebody to
Listen,
cook
who
for her.
I don't know. We need a chef. One of y'all out there, if you're a chef, send a DM to the Bougie Babe podcast on Instagram, please, so that we can get Nicole somebody here that can cook for her, because y'all need to step y'all game up in the cooking, and that's what I think.
Damn.
That'll
I
help.
agree.
Okay. What say you, CoJo? Do you have common signs of imbalance? What's your take on that?
When it comes to reciprocity and the unbalance, is to me it comes down to the foundation of any relationship, and that's communication. Because nobody's perfect, and we all from different walks of life.
Well, that's my next question, the communication. Let's keep it on the imbalance. What to you in a relationship, what do you
imbalance?
perceive? What do you see as the imbalance? What's your sign of imbalance?
I mean, I'm easy going, so you know.
Clearly, Nick doesn't follow instructions, y'all.
That might be the chef.
That's not the chef.
It might be.
Could be that.
Damn,
Sorry,
the Bougie Bay podcast is moving fast.
It's fast.
Another imbalance could be where the woman, you know, works harder than the man. If I'm working 2 jobs and you working a half a job,
part-time job.
A part-time job, but I'm working 2 jobs a day, that's an imbalance to me.
No doubt. I would agree with that. Like if she working 2 jobs to make ends meet, and all you doing, you working part time as the greeter at Walmart, that's definitely an imbalance.
Yeah.
But I would say, as a woman, you should not want to be with a dude like that. At the end of the day, as a woman, you should
supporting your man. Supporting your
I think,
man.
but I think
That only goes but so
I think
far.
there's a thin line between actually supporting a man and just getting with a bum ass dude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
real,
that
real,
broke
real
dick,
talk.
and that's another Bougie Babe podcast.
But you know what?
Some of
With
these chicks feel like broke dick is the best dick, but I
Hey,
digress.
they might be right. I mean, think about it. He ain't got nothing else going for himself, and he can practice that all day.
That's
he
all
practice
he
that
can
with all
do.
the chicks in the
That's
projects.
If he ain't got nothing else going for himself, that broke dick better be good.
But 9 times out of 10, he knows that.
But it
He ain't got
usually
nothing to
is.
do but work on his craft.
It
That's-
usually is.
Hey, listen.
Or the bad game is usually
But-
fire.
But I think,
And that means he getting a lot of practice
but I think
No, not
while you at work
With your car spinning
with
blocks.
your car.
but
Jody.
I think what another part of having inequality, I guess, in reciprocity here is not being on the same page here. One person wants to go one way, the other wants to go another way.
Well, that's where I was going with
And
communication.
I know that's
Yeah,
where you're
but-
going with that.
but,
And I
you
think
know.
I think one of the main things
Go ahead.
is y'all gotta be on the same page there.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to everything,
Because that's where it comes down.
No
that's
question.
That's where the reciprocity starts at.
It's the
Absolutely.
communication.
It's just being on the same page.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, in any relationship, one person is gonna like the other more, or one person gonna love the other more, and
That's
generally, typically is that person putting out more effort or affection or whatever than the other, and then that's where the communication comes in.
I agree to a sense. I think at the end of the day, when you get into a relationship, I think you both got to be equally yoked there. Like I said, and that's where being on the same page when it comes to certain things, right? I'll give a quick example here, right? When you come to the conversation, you ask, hey, how many children do you want to have? If she says 1 and you want to have 3, well, is that a practical situation to really get into there? No. So why get into a situation like that? So I think really it comes down to being on the same
No,
page.
I think that's a little bit different.
Why you say
If you say 2 and I say none, that's different. But one could be negotiated into at least 2.
I guess.
But 3.
Listen.
3 could be negotiated down to 2, but none
I'm a.
and 1. That's a big thing. If I do not want to have children.
Listen, when a woman says, hey, she only wants 1 child or she wants to have no children, she means that. She's not just saying that just to say that.
I think when they say none, they saying that, to mean it. 1 can maybe negotiate it into 2.
Well,
possibly.
What
I
advice
don't
do
think
you
it does.
have for individuals that are feeling like they're giving more than they are receiving in the relationship?
Well, like he said, that's where communication comes into it. And I think that's where you got to have a talk where, okay, where's this relationship going? What are we doing here? And, say where y'all can get that kind of on the same page and kind of meet down in the middle somewhere, right? But if it seems like, hey, I'm putting in more, let's just say I'm putting in 100%, she's putting in 25, or I'm putting in 75, she's putting in 10%, right? That's where you got to ask yourself, okay, is this a practical situation right here?
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like everything that we talked about so far, it pertains to a relationship that's already been solidified, or during the dating phase? Is that when this is all going on?
I would say the dating phase. I think that's when you kind of figure out, okay, are we compatible? Because one of the things in the dating phase, you should figure out, okay, do we mesh well together? Are we compatible together? Now I'm speaking from a man's point of view, right? Okay, can I see this woman being a wife? Can she be a good mother to my children? Those are the things that men should be looking for. And I think you have to properly vet a woman. And I think one of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is they don't properly vet the woman. Like, once they start getting sex from a woman, a lot of times men's brains shut off, believe it. And, you can even tell the dude. And a lot of times, a lot of these dudes are just, either willfully ignorant or tone deaf to the situation. Real talk.
Wow. He said a lot there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it like I kind of often equate relationships to getting a job or applying for a job or
Good
whatever
analogy.
the case may be. And in the beginning, if you're just talking the dating phase, in the beginning, it's like applying for a job or going for a job. When you get that job and you start, you're going to determine in the early weeks, the early month, whether or not you want to continue long term with this job or this company. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing dating. When you dating somebody, if there's certain things that's important to you, certain things that you want in your mate that this person may not be doing, or you feel like it's a pull, it's a push-pull type situation, you got to kind of force it on them, then that might not be the person for you.
So let's go back to my question about supporting your man, because I was in a situation where we both wanted the same things in the beginning. We both wanted marriage and children.
Mm-hmm.
But as the years went on, like the marriage and children talk just faded away. And man, I'm working 2 jobs and you working a half a job or whatever. And
what do you think
like,
went
how
wrong?
long should I, support that situation?
That's not supporting your man.
You said that's not supporting your man.
I wasn't getting the same reciprocity, as I was putting out. I was putting out 2 jobs. I was putting out.
All right. So what happened? What happened to the kid talk and
it just faded away. Just stopped talking.
So at that point is when we go to communication.
True.
And that's when you got to communicate that your needs and what you originally
And I'm not where I'm
agreed
supposed to
upon.
be yet.
Agreed upon.
Let me get where I'm supposed to be, and then
Well,
about
see,
it.
then
How long does that go on?
then how long that goes
gotta
on?
figure
It
that out.
goes on as long as you let it go
True.
on.
That's a great point.
Goes
Okay.
it goes as long as you let
I
it go.
think-
That's
But
true.
see, when you say that, I think that women will allow things to go on much longer
Absolutely.
I agree.
than a
Absolutely.
man will.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And
That's a whole nother show too.
it definitely
Because
is.
good sex
Absolutely.
makes a bad situation last a lot
Long-
longer.
Absolutely.
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 It's not just good sex.
It's good sex.
It's not just good
is.
sex.
It
Nope,
is.
nope,
Good
nope.
sex,
I'm
good
I'm
head
I'm gonna
makes
just
a
say one
bad
word.
relationship.
It's not
It's
good
good-
sex.
it
It's
is
called
good sex.
no. It's called
No,
viable options.
Oh,
Viable
going somewhere.
options make
Go
a
ahead.
situation go longer, because see, men don't really have those problems too much because we'll cut something quick. Why? Because our viable options are plentiful. But women, they'll hold on and
Because
hope
we
that this
care.
train get on the right
That's that
track.
nurturing that
You
we
know,
spoke
because
about.
Exactly.
The viable options ain't in place.
No, he's-
like
But
it is
that's
for men.
because we're nurturers, and most of the time, that female is more invested in that relationship
Absolutely.
than that
Absolutely.
man
I agree.
is.
I think
So we're willing to
I agree.
try to accept a little bit more, nurture them a
True.
little bit more, and so you know, y'all men is just like, oh, one thing happens, we're out, we're done,
what?
we're gone.
no. I think he's going. Both of y'all going somewhere with this. He's going somewhere. Like a man is as good as his options.
Absolutely.
You know what? But you were going somewhere with that too, right? Like if a woman is invested in a man, she's willing to kind of overlook a lot of things. Right?
Absolutely.
You get. It's not even. You say good sex. That's one component of it. But you know, good sex. You dealing
And
with.
y'all men know
You
it.
dealing with
Because
Mr.
on that downstroke, it'd be like, come on, baby, what you
Yeah,
mad for?
but yeah, that
I mean,
you
look,
dealing
how
with
you
Mr. Swag over there. You know, he a bad boy. He this, he that, is that too. So y'all willing to overlook, and then when women get into the situation thinking, well, maybe I can change him, maybe I can upgrade him, and I think that's
Right.
a mistake that a lot of women make in
Right.
these. And this is he showed you who he was from
That's
from the
right.
jump, but
Always believe that.
but y'all thought y'all could change him, and this was who he
It's,
already
but
was.
I don't think it's about changing. I don't
Why
think
you say
it's.
that?
I don't think when we, you
Not
know,
changing,
when
but
somebody
hoping you
shows you
grow.
who they are the first. What's that saying? When someone shows you who they are the
Believe
first
'em.
time, believe them. I don't think it's a thing of wanting to try to change. You just feel like, let me just give them a chance, because we are human and we do make mistakes, you know. And just because, you know, you see some things that you're not happy about in the beginning, somewhere along the way it can change. Just like how Nick just referenced, in the beginning it was one way and then it changed to another way. So it can start out as a negative and it could change to a positive.
Absolutely, but I will say this, you know, from the beginning, when like you said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Just like when you get into something and you say somebody just all of a sudden changes, they didn't all of a sudden change. That's who they really were to begin with.
Absolutely.
You
It's
know,
that,
and
well, it's
people-
that representative.
Exactly.
It's the
You know,
representative.
every time when we get into dating situations, a lot of times, a lot of people are putting their best foot forward, and that's both men and women. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now if you get into 6 months, a year deep, and they start changing, well, that's them showing you who they really are. So I think, in
Well,
that
that's a lot of time.
It
I mean,
does.
a year
And I-
is.
and I think for women, they feel like, damn, I already invested a year in him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let me try to stay in this. So I think, you know, we just got to know where to draw the line at. I think,
Yeah.
and that's both sides.
Yeah.
So let me just ask this. So we talked about mostly the big things, right?
Right.
What about the little things, such as
It's always the little
your partner, your person might like a particular kind of ice cream, let's just say,
Okay.
and you find that you both like this ice cream,
Got it.
and so you, being the female, the nurturer, decide, hey, every time I go to the store,
No.
I will pick, I pick up
That certain ice cream.
the flavor ice cream that I want. It's the same brand.
Got it.
I like one flavor. He likes another flavor. I pick up one for me, one for him.
Okay.
Right? Or her, whoever your person is. And so now, you have this ice cream in your freezer at your house. You have some at your person's house. And
You had to buy it for both people's houses?
yeah. And let me just clarify something.
Go ahead.
It's not me, the bougie babe. I'm just giving a scenario.
Go ahead.
So now you
Is it on sale or regular price?
I'm not buying
Is
it
what
for
on
two
sale?
people houses,
the
dog.
ice cream? It could be. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm just taken from when you're having conversations with your girlfriends or whatever, and this is just something that had happened. And so there was this ice cream, and the male came to the female's house and ate her ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime later, he went to the store on purpose because he was en route to her house for some sort of event, and said that he was going to go buy this ice cream.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He only bought one.
All right.
And that was the flavor. Well, it just so happened the flavor that he particularly likes was not there. But the flavor he purchased, he likes it, but it's the flavor that she likes.
Okay.
And he only bought one, though.
What's the
So,
problem?
How big is the ice cream? We not
What-
talking about
Yeah, what's the
ice
problem?
yeah,
What's the
it's
problem?
it's the small, it's the Talenti ice cream. It looks like, in the perm jar looking
Yeah,
thing.
so-
That's enough for two people.
But
It is.
he only bought the one.
I don't see what the problem is.
So-
Yeah, ain't much of a problem.
It is a big problem.
Well, see-
because why is it that you only went and you bought the one? Because they don't typically share
eat
this
this
one.
They
ice
they might wasn't
They
on
don't
sale
share it.
that day because
So
I
you
know
only
the
gonna
Tal-
buy
I
it
know the
if it-
I know
You
Talenti
only gonna
about
buy it if
I
it's
know
on
Talenti
sale.
about $6. I only
Yeah.
buy it when it's on sale. That two for
So your person wasn't
And
even
we know
worth the other
wastefulness.
jar
Well,
after you ate
well,
theirs?
see, it's not even about my person being worth it. I like to say, and I tell women, single women, even women in marriages and relationships, all alike, don't lose a good man over the small shit.
I agree.
But that happens. It's the small
does.
stuff that turns
Nah,
into
you
big
got
things.
is the
Exactly.
small.
It tumbles down.
It does, but
Yes,
that
it does.
it does. But
No.
but here's the thing.
No.
He bought that pint of Talenti, right? Y'all can share that. That's enough to share for two people.
It's really
be
not, though.
honest.
I'm sorry. It's Talenti.
It can.
It can be shared. In my
They
opinion,
don't
I believe
normally
it can be
share
shared.
it. They never.
I mean,
they've never shared
Don't
it.
get me wrong. The small things is really what matters because those are the things that's more paid attention to.
So,
It's
Kojo,
the
you're saying
small
you
thing.
would have bought 2 Talentis?
If they was on sale. Yeah, if they was on sale, I'm getting two.
Why did they have to be on sale, though?
I'm a frugal type of individual, so
Right,
Hey,
even
I
if they
can't knock
wasn't
'em.
on sale.
listen,
No,
listen.
because
I know I could get two
wastefulness. We're
Talentis.
not gonna
I
eat
know I
all
could
the
get two
wastefulness.
Talentis
They do.
for $5 when they on sale.
Yeah.
When I come in there, if they $6 for one,
$12.
I might just get one.
It's almost $15.
So you're saying you would have ate your person's ice cream and then just bought the one?
I would have ate my person's ice
That
cream and
sound like
just bought the one.
selfishness. You know, you ate my ice cream and you ain't buy me another one. You know,
No,
you
if
come and
if
get
I
my
ate hers
tequila,
and I had to replace
I
it,
expect
That's
you to bring
different.
another bottle when you come
listen,
back.
if
Okay,
if I
but-
ate hers,
2 bottles.
But if he didn't bring it,
no,
then
if I had to
what's that?
replace hers, I'm gonna replace it.
Okay.
Then we would have a conversation.
But if it if
Right.
if it's one already in place,
you know,
if it's one, she don't need two.
Why not? Why she don't need to?
Why she need two if it's one? She ain't eating two at the same time. And if she eating two at the same time, she might be on her way out because she about to get fat.
You
that's
take it to a
why.
whole nother.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying, though.
So she can't have 2 ice cream. So you're saying, okay, so that means that you have a type.
I gotta tell you.
You don't. When you say fat, what's fat?
Well, fat is subjective.
Ooh.
Fat is
Whoa,
eating
whoa.
2
So
Talentis
she
in
might-
one setting.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fat.
That's not being fat.
Fat is eating 2 Talentis
Because she can
in one
be
setting.
50 pounds wet.
You can. You can.
She could be 50 pounds wet.
She could be
That's a
50
little-
pounds wet. I'm
But
just
like I
saying.
said, you ain't listened to my key word. I said she on her way to be fat.
Like a Popeye's biscuit away.
She on her way.
So
2
if she get-
Talentis
so
in
it's-
one setting.
so
that's
you
a little-
saying if
that's
you're-
obs-
so
that's,
you-
that's obsessive.
So you're saying if your person gained some extra pounds, they're out the door.
No, not at all.
Or
not
fat.
at all,
Or
not at all.
fat. What you determine to be fat.
Not
or
at
you
all,
interpret
not
to
at
be
all.
fat. They're out the door.
Not at all. Not at all. She just can't eat 2 Talentis in one set. One sit. Can't do it. No,
Wow.
that's a deal breaker.
I'm glad I'm not his person, y'all, because
Hey, listen.
I would eat 3
Listen, you gotta set
Talenti's
your
in
parameters.
One cent.
I would
know
eat
you
3
wouldn't,
One
dog.
sitting can't have 2 Talentis in one
I
sitting.
can eat
Don't you
1
get brain
Talenti
freeze?
in one.
One is
Once.
acceptable. I give
Probably
you
one
one.
and a half.
You must have a fast metabolism there.
Brain freeze.
I
That
give you one,
Talenti
but
is
2
something
that's
different.
that's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
I don't know, but if y'all gonna bring me some Talenti, DM the Bougie Babe podcast, please.
Find out which one she likes.
And I'm gonna
Which one
have.
you like?
And I'm gonna have.
Which kind you
I
like?
want 3.
I do like the green tea one.
I do too.
So the chef for Nick, take note, because you might just can make her own green tea ice cream.
That thing is good.
So
No question.
are there any specific strategies or exercises that couples can use to cultivate a more balanced and reciprocal relationship if that reciprocity is lacking there?
Absolutely. I would say I see a few platforms got card games. There's a few card games out for relationships. I think those are great card games. They have great. I've been through a couple of them. There's great questions on them that they ask. So I think that's a great way to kind of figure out where you guys are in that relationship. In my opinion, there.
I just think real communication, being honest, and not having underlying, circumstances of what you're trying to do. If you needed a place to stay, you ain't had nowhere to live. Tell me. Don't get into a relationship and be.
That's
Hold
deep.
on.
That's deep.
Wait.
That's
a
deep.
minute.
That's,
She went-
Hold on.
that's
Hey,
more
y'all,
than the
she went
problem.
someplace else with this.
Communication.
She said if you need a place to
Wait a
stay.
second. So if you meet a guy, you like him, he's like, hey, listen,
I'm
I don't really got a
homeless.
place to stay. I'm homeless right now. I'm sleeping on my sister's couch or living room floor. You gonna give him a place to stay?
You gonna support your man?
Well, there you go. Hey, well, at least you being honest.
How you? Hold on. So
least
you
you being
gonna
honest
find
about it.
out? You gonna find out that the homeless dick is good?
That's that broke dick. Oh shit.
no.
That's
take a
that
break for
broke dick, y'all.
That's why we don't have no communication. 'Cause people don't want to say that part. They want to lie and say, "Oh
But,
yeah, I live with my
I
boy,
mean-
and I got we roommates or whatever."
I mean,
You've really been sleeping on his floor, and now 6 months later, I found out. Oh my goodness.
Well,
you
I
was
mean, 'cause
homeless.
I think honestly, most
You
men are.
can be real with me.
But I mean, most men probably be embarrassed. Right? He's sleeping on his homeboy's couch and at his auntie's basement or floor or whatever. He's probably not gonna tell you that. So he's probably gonna try to monkey branch his way into your house.
Well,
like you said, like
You gotta
with the
go
thing
home at 10 o'clock.
with the things that you just said.
Single
So
girl.
he hoping next thing you know, he started moving stuff little by little, spending nights. Next thing you know, he's staying at your house.
Well, more chicks is gonna let a man stay at their house
Exactly.
than men are gonna let a
Exactly.
chick stay at their house. Ain't no man letting
Exactly.
the average chick stay at their house.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean,
Communication, straight, honest communication. Let's stop all this underlying lying and manipulation or whatever.
Sounds
Be
good.
straight and honest with me. I can deal with straight and honest.
But Nick, since you brought it up about the homeless man, do you think broke dick or the 2 baby mama dick is better?
Yeah.
she like, yeah.
Hey, can't gotta love the gotta.
Yes, it's a little bit better. I don't know what they doing. They working on their skill all
Yeah.
day while we working. But yeah.
So you
What?
you prefer that?
Now what
homeless
they
man?
doing is
prefer
that
that.
they ain't got
I'm
no
just
other
saying.
asset.
Yeah.
In my experience, I have experienced the dude with 5 baby mamas is better than the dude with no kids at all.
Well, you got
the
you
dick
got
part.
you got
The dick part.
you gotta love our candor there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, back
Well.
to your original question with the
Back to the original question.
The people-
the exercise.
The people want to thank Nick for her charity work.
I mean,
Thank you, Nick, for the charity.
You're welcome.
I think
You're welcome too.
I've always felt like, the best, like she said, communication. But at the end of the day, it's just, knowing what you want and kind of holding steady to that and not,
And I think
compromising.
different things, it's different age groups. When you was 20, we can go all week and all day and just whatever. 30s, you know, starting to slow down and starting to get more responsible. 40s, it's I don't have no time for games. Like I don't have no time for games. Like be honest with me and let's do the honest thing, and then we can all whatever go our separate ways.
What's
and
your
come
opinion
together.
on it, Jay?
As far as reciprocity there, I mean, like I said, I can appreciate somebody's candor there, but in my opinion there, I would say, listen, it's for now, but you know what? I'm gonna turn it over to y'all there. Kind of lost my train of thought there.
Okay.
Mhm.
So my last question is, do you think a person who does not engage or practice in reciprocity, do you feel like it's just selfishness, or do you think it's a trait of narcissism?
Combination of both there. I would say most of the time, if they're not, in reciprocity there, I would say that's selfishness on the person's part there. And here's one way I would gauge one, right? If I'm dealing with or we're dating or whatever, right? Let's just say we go out on 3 dates. If not one time, let's just say she hasn't offered to tip or even pay for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that as somebody who is selfish. Now, it's not a matter if anytime I go out anywhere, I have the money to cover that date. So it's not a money issue there.
And again, this is an age thing because in your 20s, you know, we're both broke or whatever.
Right.
But in your 40s, you know, we should both
Or even
have,
30s.
Yeah, mid 30s. You know, most
Agreed.
people grow up to like 35.
Right.
For real.
I agree.
And be financially stable until like 35 or whatever. But in
Agreed.
your 40s, you know, you should know, hey, if I have today, you got Waffle House tomorrow or whatever, or next week. It don't have to be tomorrow. It could be next week.
Yeah.
I know you get paid on the 15th. Okay. But you got bills. We all got bills. Hopefully we all got bills, you know.
Well, as an
And I
adult, you
expect
probably do.
To cook a salmon dinner or something like that.
Here she go with that cooking, y'all. She keeps referencing
Or
cooking.
whatever.
Must be
Y'all
But,
chefs better be hitting me up. Where are the chefs?
You better hang outside of
CoJo,
White
what's
Castle
your opinion on it, real
when
quick?
they close.
What's your opinion, CoJo?
So, all right, I'm gonna get a little deep here.
We
Go
don't.
ahead.
We don't
Not
have.
too deep,
Listen,
but-
we gotta get ready to wrap it up. We don't have time.
Yeah,
for you.
we can wrap it
But-
up. We got time.
but
we
we
got
can-
time. They want
since-
your viewers
since
want to
he-
hear this.
But since he, here
a lot
you
of
go.
single women out there.
Go ahead.
Since
On the
he
Bougie
wants to
Babe
get a little
podcast.
deep,
Hey,
since he want to get a
let 'em
little
cook
deep,
there.
we just might have to bring CoJo back, y'all.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
CoJo,
Let me
get
know
me.
what you
Tell
think.
us.
Should he come back?
So
Wrap it up.
so the thing is,
Wrap it up.
right?
No pun intended.
When it comes to reciprocity, I feel like at the end of the day, it all comes down to what you want, what you choose to deal with, what you choose to accept. Because at the end of the day, everybody's different and everybody brings out a certain thing in others. Because I'm sure there's been a lot of women that dated a certain guy and talked bad about him and say, he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't do that. And then he got with the other girl.
Well, maybe
and
he
did
maybe
that
he
and
didn't
did
have
this and
maybe
did that.
maybe he didn't have the finances because
Or the maturity.
Well, I ain't
Kevin-
talking.
Kev-
I ain't speaking
Kevin
towards finances.
Samuels, may he rest in peace. What he said was that a woman should date high value men.
Well,
Well, that's a whole nother
he did.
show.
He did say that.
Is
but
it?
But he did
Yeah.
advocate for the average person.
What did
as
he
well.
say?
He's asked a bunch of women that came on the show.
He
said they
advocated
want-
for everybody.
For they said
Did
they
he
want-
really?
Yeah, no, he
Yeah,
did.
he advocated for everybody.
How many of those women said they
Because
wanted?
taking the advice from Kevin Samuels was kind of like chewing glass to me.
Nah.
No,
But-
I think he was.
never took no
I
advice
think
from
he was.
Kevin Samuels.
I think he
Is-
was. I think he was practical. But how many of those women came?
You said
on
he was practical.
Yes, he was.
Never took
Nah,
no
he
advice
he
from
he
that
was.
man. Are you serious?
You know what the problem with Kevin Samuels?
Y'all men
with
is getting a
people,
little vocal
They
about
hear
Kevin Samuels.
they hear
Y'all hear this?
they hear the points that's
Okay,
gonna
hold
make
up. When
new-
you say they, what do you mean? Who's they?
they are the people,
You
the
know,
viewers,
but he-
the viewers.
I would say this.
I don't know, y'all. CoJo be saying a
to
bunch
be-
of something about
fair,
nothing.
to be
but
fair
okay.
to him, he did actually advocate for when he told certain women, "Hey, listen, get with an average guy." why not get with the guy that's making 50,000? He did
Man,
advocate
he
for that
spoke.
to be
He
fair.
spoke
to him.
So can you
nothing but the
just-
truth.
Can you- can you
send
send me- can you
I
send
don't
me
know- I
that?
don't know that. I don't know.
Can you
that.
send me
He
that
spoke
footage where
nothing
he
but
said
the
that?
truth.
Can you send me
And
that
the
footage
truth
where he said
hurts.
that? 'Cause I
The
don't have
truth
that.
hurts.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times you ain't want to
I'll
accept
send you
it
a couple
here.
of clips to it.
The
to
truth
your
hurt.
DM.
Please-
Any woman
please
over
do.
35 is
Please.
garbage.
But he did that. He did
There's some
advocate
truth
for
to that. But
You
you got to
know,
see the truth
so
in what he's
listen,
saying.
I'm gonna have.
But-
It looks
But
like.
let me finish my point.
It looks like I'm gonna have
Finish
to
your point.
bring
Hurry up.
CoJo back,
I'm
and
gonna come
Jay.
back. I want to come back.
Jay may have to come back. Nick
Absolutely.
says she wants to come back, but
Well-
we definitely have to expound upon this Kevin Samuels
No
topic
question.
because it's a lot of opinions on what he had to say. And
Agreed.
Jay here is going to send me some material to back up what he said. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to do my research on Kevin Samuels. I'm going to watch whatever he sends me. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that
The late great
on the
Kevin
Bougie
Samuels.
Don't y'all take no
podcast.
advice from nobody that don't do nothing from
because
you.
it was
How
like
about
chewing
that?
glass.
How about that?
But
So
look,
2 things. We got to wrap it up. I'm sorry, CoJo.
oh,
Go ahead.
yeah, see,
We're
they
running
didn't
out.
want me to get deep.
No,
Up against
we-
the
That's
clock.
all right.
We-
I was waiting for it.
That's
too.
all right.
I knew he
We're
was.
That's all right.
I
That's
knew
all
my
right.
man.
We're
I knew
running
my
out of
man was about to
time.
cook
Hey,
here.
hey,
We're running out of time.
it's typical.
But CoJo is gonna have to come back. He says it's typical.
It's typical.
I know
What's
he was about to
typical?
cook here.
What's typical? They don't want you to get deep. Is
We
that
gonna
what you're
leave that
saying?
for the next show.
You're saying they didn't want. Who didn't want you to get deep?
We gonna leave that for the next show.
Okay.
You got to bring me
Hey.
back to find out who ain't
Oh.
ready.
Hey,
Oh.
I want to hear what he got to say, man. I know he was about
If-
to spit.
Don't y'all take
It
no
sounds
advice
like
from
he
no
was
Kevin
what?
Samuels. How about that?
Don't do that.
I was about to resurrect Kevin Samuel.
In closing,
Shout out to the Godfather.
it's 2 things. I brought up being a narcissist, whether it was being selfish or a narcissist. And with psychologists, and when I say psychologists, it was just a few of them. And I'm not a psychologist. They state that a trait of a narcissist is they do not reciprocate. They feel love is an external source of validation used to boost their self-esteem. They do not understand that real love involves reciprocation. They base a person's value solely on what their person or persons can do for them. There is no two-way street of reciprocity between the narcissist and the other person, no matter who it is. They simply don't work that way. So, reciprocity is the golden rule of social interaction. We should treat others as we would like them to treat us. So, in my closing, I'm going to say, adios, motherfucker.
All right,
Sip some tea
motherfuckers.
with the bougie babe. Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Uninhibited, uncensored. Let's talk about it.